Victor, fire every single person on that staff. Change the locks. Don't let them back in the building tomorrow. Cannot. It's over. This staff, it's over. You cannot do what they just did. Everybody, do you realize what they just did here over the last 4 days? 4 days. They lost to 2-10 Arizona. They lost to 2-10 New England. Not on the road, both at home. And the stats right here on Prime. First ever 500 team in NFL history to lose consecutive games to teams at least 8 games under 500. Their ineptitude is so bad that it's breaking records. I don't want to hear anything about the refs and the false start or a PI on the 4th and 2 to Johnson. I don't want to hear any of it. None of it. They didn't lose because of the refs. They lost because they're an awful, disgusting, terrible, mediocre, outcoached, unprepared freak show. What they are. What they are. Everybody and their mother on that team. Jaylen Warren, Deontay Johnson, on Tuesday to the media, after the Cardinals, we took them too lightly. We didn't take them seriously. What, you didn't take these guys seriously too? Like, goodness gracious, Victor.
Sad.
I mean, for that Mike Tomlin defense, not anyone else's. Don't say it's Terrell Austin's defense now because it crapped the bed. Tomlin, it's your defense. And against Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi in the worst offense in the league. That only averaged 12 points a game coming into this one. 3 first half touchdowns. 3 first half touchdowns, and you were down 21-3 to the worst team in the league. You had a significant talent advantage. You had home field advantage. I know Trubisky's a disaster, but you'd even argue that he potentially could be even better than Bailey Zappi. You even had a quarterback advantage, potentially. And you did this? For the umpteenth time, Belichick walked Tomlin. Walked him. Again. Awful. Awful. You should be looking at the schedule right now, saying you're 9-4. And you're not. You're 7-6. Because Tomlin, you crapped the bed against the Cardinals, and you crapped it again 4 days later. Clean the sheets. Clean the bed. Clean the house. Clean the house. This can't happen. Clean the house. Get everybody out. Clean the house. I mean, Belichick had no players. And on a short week on the road, he bent Tomlin over and outcoached him to death again. Any supporters for Mike Tomlin, I'm completely over. I do not care. I'm over it. His ineptitude and lack of prep is now literally setting records in this league.
I got no words. I'm sorry.
Believe me, I got him, and they're keeping on coming. Another one, too. The Steelers Nation, and I know it's probably not a lot of my viewers, but maybe some of you, but can we stop with the, oh, we should have played Mitch Trubisky over Kenny Pickett? Stop it. Stop it. Pickett might not be a great A-plus talent, but the gap between Pickett and Trubisky is the Grand Canyon. He sucks. He sucks. It's the Grand Canyon. I literally, every time he threw a pass, I was literally cringing. Because I'm like, is he going to throw it into triple coverage? Throw another pick?
It's hard to watch. So hard to watch.
Blow it up, burn it down. Get rid of everybody. Fire everybody.
Do you think they actually fire somebody though?
They should. You can't let this level of ineptitude let them get away with this. Can't. Sickening. Awful.
It's hard to watch, and you can almost guarantee you're not going to make the playoffs. Now, not that even matters. You weren't going to do anything in the playoffs, even with the
losing to Arizona and losing to New England. I am not even speaking the word playoffs. I'm not even looking at the wild card race in reference to this team in the playoffs. No. No.
I know that, and that's not where I was going. My point right there was, if you can't even make the playoffs in a defeated AFC. The AFC for the next decade will never be this weak. I can assure you this. It's been an injury-riddled conference, and Burrow's going to be healthy again. I'm sure at some point Herbert will be better. Deshaun Watson will be healthy. Lamar Jackson's always going to be Lamar Jackson. Mahomes. I mean, it's going to be a rough patch here for the Steelers. I think we're going to see similar to the Steelers of the 80s here for the next decade. No matter who the coach is, unfortunately.
I'll say this, though.
And I think every team, we have to admit, at some point, every team just goes through this phase. And it's hard and it stings. But I guess the guy of hope here, that's what makes it feel so much better when they win, even if it takes another 20 years, which I know no one wants to hear. Because that's not the standard, but sometimes you got to be reality. You know what I mean? But I'm with Joey at this point. Even if you don't win for a while, because just you're in an era where you're out quarterback to that extreme, or at least make the right moves to make yourself at least somewhat competitive. Show you care.
Fire everybody. Take the keys. Change the locks. The house needs cleaning. The house needs The house needs cleaning. I'm over it. I'm over this charade. I've been saying it for 7 years. I'm gonna stick my flag in the ground, and I was right. To everyone who said, "Oh, you're crazy, Truth. Tomlin's a great coach. He's the greatest of all time." No. No. It took 7 years, Victor. 7 years. But I kept seeing what I was seeing with my eyes. And I was not going off my take. Because I know what I was seeing. And with this delirious, disastrous, freak show, duct taped together coaching staff, led by him, his defense, having a lot of say in personnel, him wanting Trubisky in here, I was right.
You think he's good for another team, or he's just no longer good for us?
Another team I think he'd be fine for. Here, it's over. In my eyes, it's run its course. I mean, what did everyone think? He was going to be the head coach for 45 years? It ran its course. It ran its course.
I'm almost in agreement with you. I just don't think they'll ever do it because it comes down to them thinking, well, the guy's never had a losing season.
Guess what? I'll pull one right out from his mouth. I do not care.
Yeah.
I do not care. To lose both of these games? to these dregs of the league? Belichick had no players and still beat him. Juju Smith-Schuster on one knee. Ezekiel Elliott can't move.
Look like their old selves tonight.
He can't move. Bailey Zappi looked like Brady out there in the first half. He was making checks at the line, dumping it off underneath, letting everybody do their thing.
And you know what was a terrible thing was the waste of those 2 timeouts.
The 2 timeouts in the fourth quarter was awful. And I said it at the moment. That was it right there. You have those 2 timeouts. You have about a minute and a half to go down there at the end of the game. You have a minute and a half. He blew this one.
Yep, no, that's what cost the game was the 2 timeouts. And also, I want to know who decided on 4th and 2, we're going to take a deep shot down the side. It's almost like you were playing to get a flag.
I don't know. I believe it was the play before that. The play before that, on the 3rd and 2, I believe. It might have been the 4th. No, it was the 3rd and 2. On 3rd and 2, you look at that 3rd and 2, top of the screen, Deontay Johnson is standing wide open, no one near him next to the first down sticks. Wide open.
I know.
And on the 3rd and 2, if you wanted to run the ball there, because it was before the 2-minute warning, you could have run a read option, ran the ball, keep the defense on their toes, and then you're putting the game in the hands of this dope?
I don't know why you don't. And to me, it's not that he's the savior of anything. But at this point, what does it really hurt the season if you just see what you got with Rudolph? I mean, you're paying the guy $1 million to even be here.
Couldn't be any worse than Trubisky. I complained about Rudolph, but I don't remember Rudolph just shillelaghing the ball in the triple coverage.
Oh.
Screw it. Let it rip. Triple coverage. Screw it. Let it rip.
The thing that I noticed ever since you said it, every throw's off the back foot. He doesn't step into anything. I mean, anything.
I'm to that point. Fire everybody. I've had enough of him. Get Terrell Austin out of here. I know you really can't pin this loss on the offensive coaching staff, but this is just a clean house loss. I saw this during last night's Penguin game. The Penguins looked so awful that it looked like, Victor, it looked like a game where somebody was going to get fired. This is what tonight was. Someone should get fired because of this. That's how bad this was. Let's not sugarcoat it.
I agree with you. I really don't think this is a personnel issue. The team.
No.
I don't think the team is lacking talent at all. They might, and I'll be honest, they got hit pretty hard injury-wise this year, and they're still injured. But tonight, you outmanned your opponent and lost.
And when you outman your opponent and lost, that's called coaching, and that's called fire Mike Tomlin in that below average stuff. Get him out of here.